Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today to join us to announce the growth of City Colleges of Chicago partnership with the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council. I'm Juan Salgado. I'm the Chancellor of City Colleges of Chicago, and I know this day has been a long time coming. We've been working on it diligently, and we're just really glad to be here today to celebrate this partnership. I want to like to acknowledge the esteemed guests that we have here today to mark this occasion, starting with our terrific Mayor, Mayor Lightfoot. Thank you for being here with us today and for your push every day to make sure that our economy and our city is an inclusive one. We really appreciate that, especially. I know Alderman Dow wanted to be here, but couldn't make it, but I want to thank her because she is the Alderwoman for this area, and Alderwoman Garza, Sue Garza, for your presence here today and your always support for these kinds of partnerships between community colleges and labor here. So thank you for joining us today. I definitely want to recognize our partners in this effort, the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council, led by Executive Secretary and Treasurer Gary Paranar. Thank you so much for your efforts to make sure that this day came to fruition. Obviously, without you all, the important work that you do every day, we wouldn't be here today either. So thank you again. We wouldn't be here without Gary, without his team, without the commitment to creating opportunity for existing carpenters and our student carpenters in training. So we're also going to hear today from carpenter instructor Greg Adams. So Greg, thank you for everything you're doing with our students and learners all across the city and region that are entering into this profession. This kind of agreement comes together after a lot of hard work also by our team here at Kennedy College and principally here at Dawson Tech. Lucretia Jameson, the Dean of Dawson Tech, who's been Dean now, how many years, Lucretia?
3.
3?
Yes.
So thank you for your efforts. Appreciate what you're doing. She really has spearheaded this. I do want to recognize President Kenny King, President Gregory Thomas, who couldn't be with us today, but we appreciate his efforts. He is represented by our Vice President, Interim Vice President Michael Crawford. So thank you, Vice President Crawford, for being here, for your leadership. You know, Dawson Tech, by the way, say a few words about Dawson Tech here. You know, we offer a range of programs focused on construction technology, from overhead electrical line worker to gas utility worker, of course, carpentry that we have featured here today. But these jobs have something in common. They lead to good paying unionized jobs. They lead to the kinds of, you know, quality of life, right, that my dad experienced as a union worker for 42 years, that I experienced as a child of a union worker for 42 years. And so for us here at City Colleges, we value these partnerships tremendously. There are numerous pathways that our students can follow in carpentry, from putting up drywall to building homes and everything in between. And really, we're proud to share that our basic certificate in construction, carpentry, and construction masonry are both part of our Future Ready initiative. Future Ready offers high-demand short-term credential programs at no cost to qualifying Chicagoans on a first-come, first-served basis. And so there isn't a financial barrier to entering in to these programs. In fact, registration is right now open for the spring. And so if you're hearing this and you're interested in these programs and you want the kind of career that many of the people here have, and certainly the kind of career my father had, my uncles had, come and see us. We're here to open up that door of opportunity. And so with that, I want to introduce Dean Lucretia Jameson, who is going to give more details about why we're here today and what's special about this particular agreement that we've been working on. So, Dean Jameson.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lucretia Jameson. I'm the dean here at Dawson Technical Institute, and I want to welcome you guys to our home. We want to talk about this agreement because it's an awesome opportunity for both journeymen who are looking to extend their educational endeavors, and our own students who are looking to start a career in carpentry. So thank you, Chancellor Salgado. I'm truly excited and proud to be a part of a transformational agreement that outlines a clear pathway for participants to actually earn a degree here in construction management at City Colleges of Chicago, as it gives college credit to those journeyman carpenters with the experience. We can now award credit for students who graduate from the Carpenters Agreement apprenticeship program simply by verifying their transcript at the Carpenters. Then if they bring their transcript, their verified transcript that they graduated, we can actually award them credits. That means they can get up to 17 construction management credits and up to 30 college credits to have a very shortened experience to getting an associate's degree right here at City Colleges. Thank you. Now, as mentioned by the Chancellor, another agreement benefit, which is the first of its kind, is that we are now awarding our students that complete a construction carpentry certificate program here credits for their time here once they graduate at the Carpenters Union training program. So it shaves off some time from them being pre-apprentice and can get them connected to earning money immediately instead of waiting a very long time. This is the first of its kind because it's now saying that, thank you, that residents are now able to apply what they learn here at City Colleges to get an upper hand somewhere else in order to get that career with the living wage. So like I said, it's the first of its agreement. It's beneficial for both parties, and it's beneficial for our residents and our students that are looking to change their career or advance in their educational endeavors. I would like to thank the many leaders who helped put this together. Definitely Keith Junkins, Vince Sticka. We have been working tirelessly to get this all connected. Our Vice President, Michael Crawford. It's an equitable solution for those who are looking to obtain degrees. Now, I have one person who should be the champion for all equitable programs, and that's our Mayor Lightfoot, and she has been working tirelessly to help these partnerships come about, and I would like to introduce her and thank you so much for your help.
I wonder if we can get some of the apprentices to come up. Come on up, guys. Don't be shy. Come on up. Come on up. Don't be shy. Come on up. So folks, I asked them to come up because this is really about each and every one of them. It's about the future that they're going to create for themselves. It's about taking control of their destiny. This is a day about us as a city in partnership with the Carpenters and the city colleges, creating opportunity for these young men and women to be able to advance their careers. We all know that when you've got this kind of training and skill set behind you, you live a very comfortable middle-class life. You live a life where you can pass on wealth to your family. You live a life where you can take care of yourself. So fundamentally, this day is about celebrating a partnership that is going to make sure, as the dean said, that we are doing things across our city to transform the lives of our young men and women and to show them a path forward, to give them opportunity and to show them that we care about them because we are investing in them and their families. So I want to say to each and every one of you, congratulations. Thank you for making this decision. Work hard, and we're here to make sure that we support you every step of the way on this important journey. So thank you. We are here to announce a strengthened partnership between the city colleges and the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council that will advance opportunities and education for our city colleges students and our region's journeyman carpenters. As you heard the dean say, what this is about is empowering these young people to get college credit for their work experience, but also conversely, shaving down the time that it takes for them to go through the apprenticeship so they can start earning and building their future. And as my friend Gary said, that's a big deal. So throughout our history, and to this day, we've held unions in high regard in the city of Chicago for the way that they collectively stand together in their fight for fairness and dignity for workers. And it should go without saying, but I will say it here. Unions are essential to the creation and strengthening of our middle class. Unions fight tooth and nail to ensure that their members' wages honor their skilled labor and its impact on our daily lives. And because they achieve higher and fairer wages, unions are essential to the creation of an equitable economy. Union participation has shown to address the gender pay gap as well as racial wealth gap. And for these reasons and more, becoming a union member is a tremendous opportunity for upward economic mobility. And that's why I'm thrilled to be here today, to talk about this new agreement, the signing of and articulation of prior learning transfer agreement with the Carpenters and their training fund. This agreement will allow journeyman carpenters to apply their educational and training experiences toward a degree at Kennedy King College and Dawson Tech, as well as allow our students who complete their basic certificate in carpentry at Kennedy King to receive advanced placement in the fund's pre-apprenticeship program. It is, as they say, a win-win for everyone. This mutually beneficial agreement will open the opportunity for union apprenticeship to a greater number of students and help them move into union apprenticeships faster. That will bolster union participation across our city and region, which moves Chicago one step closer to having a truly equitable economy. When we first started having conversations about creating this partnership, I paid a lot of attention, because this is more than just a workforce program. It's a violence and crime reduction program. And let me tell you why. Creating opportunities like this for people to get a foothold in the job market, to get a pathway towards a good-paying, skilled job with health insurance and other benefits of union membership is how we keep our young people focused on their future. When people ask me, how do we address the root causes of gang and gun violence? How do we address the root causes of the violence that is plaguing our city and other cities across the country? It's really simple. We do it by creating economic opportunity. We do it by creating a viable path for our young people to see opportunity and feel like they've got ownership in their destiny, so that their destiny doesn't seem preordained for them to be minding somebody's corner spot, an early death or jail. We have to lift ourselves up and make sure that we are creating opportunity. That is a long-term play. We know this from decades and decades of futility. We cannot arrest our way out of this problem. We absolutely must hold violent, dangerous people accountable. But if we want to reverse the cycle of violence and then a trough, and violence and then a trough, we must invest our way out of this problem. And that's exactly what this program does for us today. Let me just end by saying this. I want to thank all the people that were involved. I want to thank the Chancellor. I want to thank Kennedy King and the whole team. Obviously, I want to thank the Dean and the Dawson team. This incredibly important initiative didn't just happen by chance. It's a reality that because of the vision and determination of the Carpenters Union that we are standing here today. And I want to thank each and every one of the folks that are in this program. I said to them as I was coming in, I'm very, very proud of you. I'm proud that you are choosing to make this investment in your future. But I also want to thank Gary Paranar. Gary's a very humble guy. and a fundamentally good man who is committed to creating real opportunity in the trades for our Black and brown residents. This is not the first manifestation of Gary and the union's commitment, and I know that it won't be the last. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is what true leadership and commitment to civic, in our economy, civic leadership really looks like. So Gary, I want to say thank you to you and your entire leadership team. On behalf of the many Chicago residents who will benefit from this incredible initiative, we will all be the better for it. I want to thank you for your commitment to our city. I assure you and promise you that we will work in partnership with you to create other opportunities, because you see, this workforce opportunity is much bigger than this. Gary and his leadership team, working in partnership with City Council, are an important element of it. But we also, as a city, need to make sure that we are stepping up and explaining and educating our young people and their families about the tremendous opportunities that await. I'm a firm believer in you cannot be what you cannot see. That's why it's so important for our young people to see other folks who are just like them, coming from the same kinds of neighborhoods, maybe similar backgrounds and experiences, but who are choosing this path. It's important that we get that message out and that we as a city step up and do our part to make sure that we're showing our youngest people, I'm talking about kids, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, my daughter's age, 8th grade, that there's a world of opportunity for them. It's not just college or bust, that this is an important way, an important step that we were taking forward, and we wouldn't be here without Gary and his leadership team. So I invite Gary Paranar to come and say a few words.
That's a tough act to follow, Mayor, but I'll do my best. First of all, my name is Gary Paranar, the Executive Secretary Treasurer of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council. First off, I'd like to thank Mayor Lightfoot, Chancellor Salgado, President Thomas, our training director, Vince Sticca, who's in the crowd, and my Vice President, Keith Judkins, who have instrumentally taken this partnership with the city colleges from concept to completion. This partnership with city colleges is exactly the innovative thinking we need at this time right now. And as you know, our nation is moving finally towards billions of dollars in infrastructure and investment. And we need the much needed trained union workforce. In this program, as you can see today, we got future leaders, not only here in Chicago, but the state of Illinois. And I couldn't be more proud to stand up before these men and women today and congratulate them personally on the sacrifices they've made to make sure that they're better citizens, more productive carpenters, and hopefully the future that'll build these skyscrapers in downtown Chicago. So thank you very much. As the mayor said, students at city colleges studying construction management will have a new option to get fast-tracked into the union apprenticeship program. Well, they will join the apprentice carpenters and the best trained carpenters in North America. With this new collaboration, students from all over Chicago will have an outstanding and easier way to enter into a lifelong union career that offers exceptional pay and fantastic benefits for both you and your families. I'm excited here today to kick off what I believe will be a game changer in the Carpenters Union and for many more new apprentices that we will see welcome into our union family. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon. First off, I'd like to take a moment to show our appreciation to Mayor Lightfoot and all participating parties in improving the city of Chicago. As a union tradesman and women, we take pride in creating such a beautiful skyline. My name is Greg Adams Jr. I've been in the Carpenters Union since 2008, the winter of 2008, the recession of 2008, right? The hardest part of 2008. And along with a lot of other people, I came from a hard beginning, right? Started out living a statistical lifestyle, hanging out in the streets at a young age, idealizing my surroundings without a clue what the risk versus the reward was and what I believe I wanted. After realizing that I wanted to be in control of my freedom In my outcome, I decided to enter the trades. I was once y'all. I still am y'all. I'm an instructor, so when I see y'all, I think about when I was there, right? It all began when I entered a program similar to this. Lake County Youth Build is a 9-week program. And the program opened my eyes to the benefits of teamwork, how to properly swing a hammer changed my life. I want to thank Mr. Delgado for that. That was my first instructor. After the first day in there, I decided to put in my 2-week notice at Sam's Club. I was an assistant manager at Sam's Club, and I saw it. I saw what the opportunities were to provide to us. And during the wait to join the Carpenters Union, Youth Build provided me with a stipend towards the continued education. While I waited to go to Elk Grove, once I entered Elk Grove, it just changed everything. I can't explain the facility out there. It was like paradise, but I knew I was at home. I learned so much in my 9-week program at at the Carpenters Union at Elk Grove that I just decided to keep going on. They offered free ongoing education, like anything you could think of involving building a house, anything. From that, it seemed like all the instructors had all the answers. It wasn't a question I could think of they didn't have the answer to. So the instructors saw something in me and they began to mentor me. I remember when I first met Mr. Sticker, who he was, and I remember how my instructor reacted when he saw him, and that changed everything. That changed it. So they fed my hungry brain, and not only was I impressed, I had uncontrollable emotions, more role models than I could ever imagine. Father figures, big brothers, structure, unity, and professionalism and organization that I've never seen before in my life. I didn't know what I was missing until I joined the trades. The trades teach you how to be a man or a woman, deal with problems properly, integrity, teamwork, discipline, accountability, respect for yourself as well as others. The Carpenters Union changed my life, and as an instructor, I would love to have an impact on influencing others' lives the way the Carpenters Union changed mine. I just want to tell everybody thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all all for coming. Thank y'all. Y'all stick to it. Focus. Next up, I'd like to bring Alderwoman Garza up.
Hi, I'm Alderwoman Susana Garza, Chairwoman of Workforce Development. Brother, I told you, he was sitting there, I could tell his knees were shaking a little. I said, you got this. This is your story. Speak from the heart. And you did. And I'm really proud. And these men and women should be really proud to have you as their instructor. So thank you for telling your story. Appreciate that. First thing you got to do is learn the words to Solidarity Forever. Just telling you. Anyway, I want to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Lightfoot, to thank the city, Chancellor Salgado, thank you, Dawson Institute. This is such an important program. I'm proud to be here today to support this partnership. It's really important. For over 140 years, the Carpenters Union has been part of building the city of Chicago. Now, more than ever, more people will have the ability to move into union apprenticeships faster. This type of program provides opportunities to individuals who have traditionally been underrepresented, such as women and people of color. As chairman of Workforce Development, I've seen many, many workforce development programs. Some of them do us justice. Chicago Women in the Trades, Hire 360, Revolution Workshop. This is another tool in our toolbox to get people into an apprenticeship program. Mayor Lightfoot, I want to piggyback off of something that you said earlier. This is an honorable profession. And we have to, and Chancellor Salgado, I know you got me on this because we've talked about this extensively. We have to teach our students at our high schools that a trade is a good profession. Not everybody is college material. And guess what? That's okay. You can go to a 4-year apprenticeship program and graduate with 0 college debt. I have a son that actually went out of state, University of Wisconsin-Madison, studied in Florence, Italy, had these big aspirations of becoming, his degree was in fine arts. Guess what? He's a local 63 iron worker, making more money than he ever would before. And I would be amiss to say my husband's an iron worker also, But anyway, I am really proud of what we're doing here. Let's keep building these partnerships. Let's utilize the workshops and the programs that are already out there, like the ones I've mentioned. being a journeyman or a journeywoman is a profession that you can all be proud of. I'm proud of each and every one of you for standing here today. Keep going because the rewards are amazing. Solidarity forever. Let's see that fist, man. Come on. Come on. Solidarity forever.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. We got your back.
Test, test, test. Yeah, thank you. Test, test, test. Hello, hello. So I'm just going to ask the students if you could proceed to the back,
guys.
please. We're going to start our Q&A session. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Congratulations, guys. Congrats.
Who's my guy? Oh, there he is.
All right. Any on-topic questions? Is that a no? Okay. All right, we'll start with Mike Flannery from Fox. Mike, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Caesar. Madam Mayor, the
Can you
settlement,
just speak up a little bit? Thank you.
the settlement with Anjanette Young and her attorneys, could you address that, please, and tell us what was involved in that?
Well, obviously, when you get to a settlement, it means that both sides have agreed on the terms. As I understand it, the Finance Committee today voted unanimously to advance this to the full City Council. It's $2.9 million, and obviously, I'm comfortable with it. But importantly, my understanding is Ms. Young and her council also are comfortable with it, and then it'll go to the City Council floor on Wednesday.
At one point, she had made a derogatory comment or two about you and betrayed. Could you address that?
Yeah, look, this, we all saw that horrific video. We all saw the way in which she was treated. And I've made extensive comments about it from the time that I saw it and into the early part of this year. I think it's a good thing that this matter is resolved. Obviously, assuming City Council approval, this will provide her, I think, with a substantial amount of resources. And I think that that's a good thing. It's a good thing for our city. We need to heal from this and move forward.
All right, Tamon Bradley, WGN.
Hi, Mayor. As part of the healing process, there was an IG report that looked into this matter. Will you commit to release it in full? I know we might get a summary of it in January, but can we see the entire report?
Well, as you know, in the fall of 19, prior to that time, no IG reports could be released as a matter of law. We'll follow the law. I don't think that investigation is over. We've raised a number of questions. The departments involved have not had an opportunity to respond yet, and we'll move forward, but we're going to follow the law.
Mayor, on Saturday, CTA bus drivers demonstrated downtown. They're concerned about recent incidents of violence. What more can you do for them? What's your message to them?
Well, look, we've been engaged with the CTA unions, both for bus and transit. And what we've emphasized over and over again is we've got to hold people accountable. We've got to work with the unions to understand what their concerns are. But we will continue to do what we have been doing, which is aggressively go after, arrest, and prosecute the individuals who are assaulting bus drivers, and transit workers in general. There's absolutely totally unacceptable. There can be no space for this. And it's unfortunate, the incidents that have happened, and I understand the concern of the unions. I've been in contact with and conversation with them for much of this year, and what we're seeing that's happening on our trains and on our buses is unacceptable, and we've got to hold individuals accountable.
Thanks, Mayor. Amy Jacobson?
You had mentioned late last week that high-end stores on or near the Mag Mile should, do their part, hire extra security, install cameras. And I'm sure you know about the smash and grab at Joe Perilla's car dealership. In 30 seconds, $1 million worth of high-end watches were stolen. Sales reps were armed. They had their concealed carry. They drew their weapons. What more should Joe Perilla have done?
Well, look, I've got to look into the specifics of that, but I will tell you this is unfortunately a problem that we're seeing in other cities across the country. I was in San Francisco, in LA this week, met with the mayors, talked to them down in San Francisco around Union Square, which is like their big downtown shopping area. Armed guards at every store. We're seeing heavy police presence. Those are the kind of things that we're doing. But yes, of course, we need to work in concert together. And I don't want to single out one store or another, but in some instances, we've had some difficulty getting stores to take these extra security precautions. But again, like this and anyone else, it's not acceptable. We're aggressively going after these folks. I'm confident that we will find them and we'll bring them to justice. We've seen great results by our police department, particularly our detective division, working in concert with the stores. But fundamentally, we've got to send a message that if you do this, you're going to be held accountable. And when we do find them and we do charge them, they've got to be held in custody, period, full stop. Sending a message of accountability on these crimes and other violent crimes that are happening in our city is critically important. Our officers are doing their part. Our detectives are working their tails off to make sure not only do we find the folks, that we hold them accountable, that we are doing more aggressive things to shut down the retail market for these goods and services. We've got to do more. Facebook has got to step up and do its part because a lot of these goods are being sold on Facebook. They've got to be policing their website and not make it be open season for the sale of stolen goods. But everybody in the ecosystem has got to work collaboratively together. Otherwise, we're going to continue to see the challenges. So we're going to do our part. We're working in concert and in constant conversation with merchants all over the city to talk about different things that we can do. Stepped up police presence has happened, and it's been in place for quite some time. But we also need to make sure that we're looking at how is it that in broad daylight, people were able to come into the store, smash with a hammer, and get off and make off with a lot of expensive high-end merchandise. And we're willing to work with them to think through what their security plans are and offer suggestions. And we've done that outreach and we'll continue to do that. And again, once we find these people, they have to be held in custody. We've got to send a message to the violent criminals and to the criminal enterprises that are doing a lot of these robberies that there's no payoff there. We're going to find you, we're going to prosecute you, and we're going to hold you in jail.
All right, so what I just heard you say, Joe Perilla should have had an armed guard at the door?
No, that's not.
And also he wants to meet
That's not
with,
what I just said, Amy.
Okay.
That's not what I just said, and you know that.
Well,
what I said is we've got to understand better what happened. We've got to go through the video. We've got to talk to the people that are on the ground there and think about what we can do to harden these targets so that we're not seeing a continued uptick in these kinds of thefts. That's what I said.
Chris Hacker, CBS.
Mayor, now that the Lightfoot case, or the Anjanette Young case is finally reaching its conclusion, there's a number of cases that are similar that are not. Cases where COPA investigation has taken multiple years, like lawsuits that have languished. When will those cases be at the same place that the Anjanette Young case is?
Well, sir, obviously, I don't interfere with the pace at which COPA does its work, and you're really conflating apples and oranges. COPA will do its work, but what we also need to do is make sure that the lawsuits are handled appropriately, and that is really going to depend upon what the procedural posture is of each and every one of those cases. I can't speak to all of those, but I can assure you we take all of these matters seriously, and we will move them through the process as expeditiously as possible.
So for those cases where the lawsuits are still pending, many of them are older than the Anjanette Young case.
Okay.
What do you say to those families that are awaiting justice? That these processes often been, very emotionally challenging for the families, depositions of young children. What do you say to them?
Well, what I say is we take all these cases seriously. We certainly understand the pain that a lot of these families have endured, and we're going to treat them individually, which is what you would expect if you were in one of those cases for us to do. It can't be one size fits all. We've got to look at the individual circumstances and treat them individually, and we're going to move them along as expeditiously as possible.
Thanks, Mayor. Mary Ann
Mary Ann.
Ahern, NBC7.
Hey, thanks.
5.
Someone who knows way better than I on the sports betting is giving me some information saying that this new proposal today before the committee, that there is still no binding MBE requirement, that the city language is aspirational and calls it smoke and mirrors. It is like cannabis. The winners are the big companies, the sports teams, and there is no opportunity for minority participation.
Well, I would disagree with part of that, and let me kind of put it into context. As you know, Sportsbook was passed by the state in 2019. Ample opportunity for the critics to weigh in at that point. I was mayor about 10 days before this thing passed the General Assembly. This is a tax for us and a zoning matter, really pure and simple. The state law doesn't give us a lot of flexibility. So the area, if you want more for that, to do it is through the state legislature. And a lot of the people who are complaining now didn't raise a single word of criticism back then. Now, the sports teams are real clear on what my moral compass is when it comes to opportunities to create jobs and wealth for black and brown and women-owned businesses here in the city, and really minority businesses writ large. There we did get a commitment for them that, frankly, is historic given where they typically are. And we're going to continue to work with them and push them to make sure that they make good on those promises. But the tax and the regulatory framework is limited in our ability to do much. This is not like a contract with the city. And I think people are conflating that a little bit. Nonetheless, the commitment that's made in writing by those teams that they have now circulated to every member of the city council is meaningful and important, and we will hold them accountable for that to make sure that they make good on the promises that they put in writing to the city.
On vaccine requirements at restaurants, even some of the alderpersons would like to see a stronger commitment to restaurants having to produce a Vax card. Where are you? New York City's doing it. Of course, many cities in Europe are doing that. Why not Chicago?
Well, step by step. We're looking, particularly in light of the surge, we're at about 1,000 cases today. 3 weeks ago, we were at about 300 and on the downward slope of a surge. We are seeing a significant uptick in cases. Overwhelmingly, the unvaccinated. That's concerning. We're seeing an uptick in the number of ICU beds occupied by unvaccinated Chicagoans. We're seeing an uptick in the number of deaths among unvaccinated Chicagoans. So we are looking at a number of different strategies to help us deal with this latest surge, but we always do that in partnership and in communication with the individuals and the businesses that are going to be affected. We don't unilaterally impose anything. We always try to do it in partnership so we understand the impact, particularly on our small businesses, but we've got a challenge on our hand and we're going to address it.
Would it be fair to say you're speaking with restaurants about that possibility?
Yes.
And that would be perhaps
We're talking to them about a range of issues. We haven't landed on one particular additional mitigation strategy versus another, but obviously you see, as is embedded in your question, what's going on across the country and the type of tools that are being used at the local level to help both mitigate the spread, but also compel unvaccinated folks to get vaccinated.
Greg Pratt, Tribune.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon.
So on the Anjanette Young case, there's the IG report, but you also asked for a report from Jones Day. What's the purpose of the report? What are you going to do with it, and when are you going to, and are you going to release it?
Well, it's an independent report, so I don't dictate the time and place and manner in which Jones Day is going to release findings and recommendations, but I expect that to come soon.
Just a follow-up on that, are you saying Jones Day will release it on their timetable, but you expect it to be released?
I'm going to repeat what I just said. They're independent. They've done, I think, a thorough deep dive, looking at a number of different places where this case was touched by city entities. Now, they didn't deal with the underlying search warrant. That was really the subject of the work that COPA and the IG did. But looking at what was the process, what happened in the mayor's office, law department, COPA, and the police department. And as I said, my expectation is that they will release something soon, but you really got to talk to them about the time and place and when that's going to happen.
Thank you, Mayor. And, the Tribune, myself, did a story this weekend about your text messages with 50 aldermen over 2.5 years. Do you have any regrets or reflections on how some of these interactions have gone down and whether or not you would have done them differently, or whether there's something about your style that could be worked on?
Here's what I will say. The things that I'm focused on, I think, are the things that are important to people in the city. Palace intrigue aside, with due respect, the thing that people want me to focus on is public safety, the pandemic, and making sure that we've got an equitable recovery. That's what people in the city actually care about. And with due respect, there's a lot of context that didn't flow in your reporting, and I think the proof is in the pudding. We get things done. We advance matters on behalf of our residents. We just passed, I think, what we go down in history as one of the most historic budgets, most progressive budgets in the history of the city. $1.2 billion in investments that was overwhelmingly supported by members of the city council. So when you say, well, do you regret, do you have the proof is in the pudding, my friend. We get things done. We get things passed, things that are important to our residents to help them heal and recover and move forward, to be able to take advantage of their God-given talent. We put together the coalitions that are necessary to do the work on behalf of the people. That's what matters, because we get results.
That's a wrap, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.